Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Welcome to today's edition of GSD Daily. This is episode 109, and I need to turn off these notifications because they're going to drive me crazy. All right, so today we're going to talk about automated webinars, selling high-ticket offers on events, basically digital events, whether it's Zoom calls, whether it's webinars, whether it is, all that stuff. We've been talking about selling high-ticket stuff all week, and what we've been using is kind of like the bedrock, I guess, of this process is this guide. So we're down here on page 29, but if we go up to page 1, we're walking through this automated webinar playbook, which if you've been following along, this playbook is like a third strategy, a third to-do lists like tasks and stuff, and then a third journal and notes. And what it's meant to do is walk you through the process of setting up these automated webinars in your business, or at least thinking strategically about them so that you know what you need to create in order to get it done. Now, today we're down on page 29, actually, the webinar replay video. So we have walked through webinars, offers, the different types of presentations that you can run. Yesterday, we walked through funnel structure and we talked a little bit about the emails and the tasks and stuff. And then we talked about the material, the equipment you need in order to actually pull one of these things off. So today we're going to talk about what happens after the webinar. It's interesting too, because after the webinar, people just kind of discount it. And you can download this book here. You can download it at doneforyou.com/legendary. Done for you legendary. Okay. All right. So basically, what happens after the webinar is the quintessential piece for it all, really. So after the webinar runs, after the event plays, and you have people on the webinar, that part is almost a formality now. Like, it's almost a formality that you have to have the event in order for you to be able to run the replay. Because you're going to make 85% of your revenue from the replay sequence itself. If you just skip the replay sequence, you are literally throwing 80% of your revenue out the door. It's not rare, but the live webinar event anymore, because so many people count on the replays and they wait for the replays, and a lot of people do watch them, but watch the webinars, but then they don't take action right away, especially for a high ticket offer. So the webinar replay is really the most important part in capturing engagement from your prospects and turning them into customers. So the replay video itself, there's some different strategies here, some different styles of thought when it comes to what you can do with the replay. If you're doing a live webinar, then of course you're basically recording the live webinar and then you're sending it out to all the people who signed up for it the day after. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to download the recording, encode it into a smaller file, maybe do a little bit of editing, and then posting it live on a web page. It usually takes at least 4 hours to do that, sometimes more. If it's an automated webinar, then you already have the MP4 file that you can use to automate as the replay. But the most important thing is that you know your numbers. So typically, like if it's a $97 product, you're selling it from a webinar, like 30% of them are going to buy. If it's $197, it might be 15%. If it's $497 or above, it's going to be like 3 or 4%. So if you're promoting a $97 product, roughly 900 people won't have bought, which means that there is an incredible opportunity for you to sell through the emails that go out after the webinar is live. And this is our kind of methodology for sending them. So we put together a 6 email replay sequence, for at least 6 for every single one of the webinars that we do, internal and for clients. And this is kind of the strategy behind that. So if you look at, so there's 6 emails, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Day 0, or the first day that the email goes out, like day 0, like coding language, like the first step is always step 0. Day 0 is always a link to the replay. You don't really even talk about the offer. It's just a link to the replay. They can go back and watch the replay, and that's it. So this is some example copy. Thanks so much for signing up for last night's webinar. For those who couldn't make it, no problem. We totally understand. Here's a link to the replay so you can enjoy it whenever you want, blah, blah, blah. Now, day 1, which is the next day, you want to link to the replay again. We're still not dropping the offer yet. We want them to go, enjoy the webinar, and learn from the webinar, and then organically go through and see the pitch. That's the goal. We don't want to force anything down their throat yet. We want them to take it in. You know what I mean? Consume the webinar. So we send another email with another replay link. Did you miss yesterday's link? Or maybe you just wanted to take some extra notes. Here's a link to the replay from a few days ago. It's coming down in 72 hours, though, just so you know, it's a beast on our servers or whatever. So we try to remove the webinar for some reason. Might be the size, although the size doesn't work as well as it used to. It might be a bonus. It might be that you're closing enrollment. It might be you're pulling a bonus after so many hours. There's lots of reasons that you can remove the webinar, but it makes sense to do that from an urgency standpoint. Now, the next day, day 2. So this is the 3rd email that goes out. You want to link to the replay and link to the order form. So day 3, day 1 is replay, day 2 is replay, day 3 is replay and order form. You're basically saying, if you're reading this, you haven't bought yet. We really wanted to make sure you saw the video. We wanted to make sure you saw the product. So here's the link to the webinar replay, and here's the link to the product. You want to make kind of you're making 2 calls to action in that email. You're basically saying, this is the last time I'm going to send you the replay link because we are going to be promoting the product or the offer or the strategy session or whatever from this moment forward. So it clears the replay and then pushes the offer. Then day 3. So day 3, we link to the webinar replay again, we link to the order form again, and then day 4, we link to the order form. So that order form is, we're linking to the order form, and then what we do is we also send a second link to the order form too. So at the end of the day, we're linking to the replay, then we're linking to the order form, we're making the switch to the call to action, and then we're usually close. We don't talk about urgency in this report too much, but usually we take down some part of the offer. It might be the bonus, it might be whatever, So we usually try to remove something just to add some urgency. Maybe do a price hike or whatever. So for those that still don't bite, they still don't do anything. There's some things you can do. So like after your 5-day replay sequence, if you decided to put a trial offer in for a couple days, then send the next affiliate offer in your product lineup, or you can send a downsell offer. Like we have, we're actually working on one right now. It's a $997 product, and we're downselling into 3 payments of $397 through email. So it's basically we're clearing the webinar, and then we're downselling into a 3-pay of $397 through its own sales page. They already know the offer. They already know whether it's for them or not. We're just addressing the price in it. So if somebody doesn't have the $997 up front, maybe they want to break out into payments. That's kind of the idea there. And then we got a little note block, so you can take some notes there. So the rest of this, now we're getting into the front side. The front side, all the public-facing stuff of this automated webinar. Everything we've done up until this point is not public side. It's the mid part of the funnel. It's your webinar, it's your email copy that is used to engage people. You got to have all that set up and written and created and everything in order to start addressing the front side of it, which is your webinar registration page and which is your ads. So there's lots and lots and lots of psychology when it comes to landing pages. First of all, do you need a landing page? Absolutely. Most webinar registration pages suck. So you want to make sure that you have your own webinar registration page that is built for conversion, that is integrating with webinar software if you choose to use webinar software. Even if you use like a EverWebinar template, you're going to want to ruthlessly test that EverWebinar template. They have split testing functionalities inside. We tend to build our own and then integrate with whatever platform we try to integrate with. But like we were talking the other day, A lot of times we just set up webinar registration, webinar room, webinar replay. The webinar room page is an on-demand webinar that just plays whenever the page goes live. So some things you want to understand about conversion rates before we get into like the landing page piece. So you want a lead magnet. You know, the webinar in this case is a lead magnet to a degree, but basically you want your landing page to be fast. You want it to be well copywritten. You know, you want to split test headlines. The headlines and the bullets are the most important part. Some other things that we test ruthlessly is button color, and we also test imagery on the landing page itself. And all of that really kind of combines with the Facebook ads that we're going to be doing. But just a real quick, like there's so many page building tools. There's so many funnel programs out there now. Just keep it simple. You know, like you want a fast website that is simple to understand and well optimized. Now that describes ClickFunnels. It describes, you know, describes all of the other variations of it. Every business has their preference. Some people like ClickFunnels. Some people don't like ClickFunnels. Some people like, you know, lead pages. Some people don't like lead pages. Some people like GrooveFunnels, and that's awesome. You know, like our personal preference is we still kind of build on a WordPress site using OptimizePress. So OptimizePress 3, you know, which is then we own the data. Not we own the data, but our clients own the data. And we control the hosting environment. We can throw it up on like a load balancing S3 if we need to. We can do like content delivery network stuff, and we control all that. And we're not victim to a landing page builder that is in its own environment that is being mistreated by tens and hundreds of thousands of other people. You know what I mean? So it really just depends on what you want to do. Not to mention, you know, a funnel that is set up on your own hosting, you have the setup costs and like the talent costs, the time management costs. But you're still probably going to need those if you set it up on ClickFunnels or some of the other ones. You're still going to need, you know, somebody who knows what they're doing, write copy, do design, all that stuff. So it's really up to you, but there's lots of different variations of it. The most important thing is you find somebody who can build in the platform you want. You know what I mean? So we always build in wherever our clients want us to build, whether it's ClickFunnels, whether it's WordPress, whether it's Shopify, whatever. And then we use the CRMs that they are already using. And if they don't care, we have some options too. So it's just important to kind of build this whole webinar funnel around the thing around your existing processes, the stuff that you're comfortable with. Let's see. Here, some necessities for landing pages. We talked a little bit about this A/B testing. So you want to do split testing on your landing pages and make sure to always be improving your landing page optimization. Always be improving your conversion. So we always have split tests running. We're always trying to beat the control. It's not saying that we're always beating the control. We're always trying to beat the control. Then when something works better, then we make that the control, and then we start testing variations against that control. So you should always be testing everything. Every public facing page that is getting traffic, and especially the stuff you're sending traffic to, like you're spending money on the traffic, it should be going through testing. Double opt-in is, I mean, your buyers list should be double opted in. I mean, but your buyers list is kind of double opted in because they give you, you know, a credit card. So now, non-active subscribers, you want to make sure to pull out non-active subscribers from your email list. You want to make sure your emails have relevant subject lines, because the subject lines are the key to getting an open rate and ultimately a click-through rate. If you're advertising and doing affiliate stuff, you at least need to have some terms of service kind of language saying that you are an affiliate. And then email frequency. I've talked to so many businesses over the years, and they think sending one email a week is frequent enough. It's really not. You know, 3 or 4 a week is preferable. Even if that email is just kind of letting them know that you have a video that is up, or you were published in Forbes, or you have a blog post that is live, or you're doing a release of a new software, or, you know, whatever. Just keeping them in the loop is what email's for. You know, so having somebody think about and focus on your email is important. What happens is when you only mail once a week, your unsubscribe rate is crazy low, or it's actually crazy high. you're getting a lot of unsubscribes when you don't mail very frequently. And it's because every time you mail, they're like, wow, I don't remember this person, or wow, I have no interest anymore. So they scroll down to the bottom, they unsubscribe, or they submit spam, which is bad. So that's not good. Whereas if you mail more frequently, 3-4 times a week, they don't have a chance to forget about you. So your unsubscribe rate is actually much, much, much lower, and your frequency is quite a bit higher, which means you're able to put more information in front of them, bond with them that much faster. So emailing more frequently is most of the time better. And this last section, this last 11 pages here, is really about strategy session. So what we're going to do is tomorrow, which is the end of this little series, we're going to take an in-depth look at the strategy session. We're going to go through these, talk about some different strategy session scenarios, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, what the application needs to be, how a survey is going to fit into the mix. And then that is going to conclude our week of high-end automated webinars. So if you have any questions at all, just go to doneforyou.com, hit the chat box in the lower right-hand corner, and we will be happy to get back in touch with you. And if you would like to jump on an action plan call with my team and I, just go to doneforyou.com/start. And we will set up a time for a plan, or set up a time for a call. We'll walk through your business, we'll walk through your offers, figure out if an automated webinar makes sense, and then put together a plan for getting one rolled out. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. It is Thursday, which means the week is almost done. And I'll talk to you soon, all right? Thanks.